this computer. Okay, so Bismillah. Let's start this. Hello, everyone. This is Hussein, and here we have our final session in the course. Inshallah, you're going to just achieve your dreams and get the IELTS score that you dream for, inshallah. So let me ask you one simple question. Can you please mention one type of the 5 question types of task 2? We have 5 different types. We studied 4. I just want you to mention only one.
Debate question.
Yes, okay, great. What else?
Advantage and disadvantage essays.
Yes, great.
Yes, cause and reasons.
Yes, cause
and effects.
Effect, yes, and solutions if you can mention. So we have the 4 different types that we studied in the last 2 sessions, and today we have the final or the last one. Okay, let's do this task together. Imagine that in the exam they asked you this question. They told you that many children diseases can now be prevented through the use of vaccines. This is a real topic that people are discussing these days, whether to have the vaccine or not, AstraZeneca or Pfizer or the Russian or the Chinese one. So in this type of question, or today's question, we're going to have 2 ideas. And we need you to discuss both ideas to tell us all what you know about them. So here, I would like you to read this and tell me your ideas. What do you think? We're going to share ideas here. We're not going to go into rooms.
Yeah.
The question is giving us 2 options, and we need to discuss in the essay one of them.
Discuss.
The one
we're going to discuss both ideas.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question? Are you going to take one side of these 2 sides?
I guess sure, because he's asking using should they do this or that. So we will say they should do this because of what such and such.
Thank you so much. Let's listen to other friends. What do you think, guys?
I think you will try to just show the two opinions.
Why? Why not to take one side?
Because he doesn't ask you to give your opinion.
Excellent. They didn't tell you to choose, to give your opinion, to show them which side do you take. They just told you, please cover these 2 points, and thank you so much. So what can we say about these 2 points, my friends?
The advantages and disadvantages of both.
Excuse me. It is telling clearly in the type of question, should parents be made by the law or should individuals have? So it is asking yes or no question. So I have to answer yes or no and to support my answer. If yes, to support it. If no, to support it. But I didn't understand it as discussing both. Okay. This kind of question is yes or no question. Am I right?
I guess that we said it clearly. If they would like you to state your opinion, they just tell us your opinion. So as long as they didn't tell it straight away that they need you to state your opinion, then we don't have to do it. But they said that we have 2 options. We have 2 points. Parents should be made by law to immunize the children, or should individuals have the right to say no? They just
okay, but if anyone asked you this question, read it loudly to yourself. Are you going to answer by yes or no, right? Am I asking these sentences written in red? If I'm asking you these sentences, your answer should be yes or no.
Because
then you are discussing one opinion.
It's a discussion question. That's why I don't have to say, yes, I do believe that this is the right choice. You may
Well,
say this, but in IELTS you don't have to, because they didn't ask you about your opinion.
I'm afraid that if I face this question in IELTS, I will answer my opinion. This is what I'm afraid.
If you remember, Mrs. Dalia, if you remember the question forms that we used to study like 2 sessions before, they told you, do you agree? To what extent do you agree? Tell
Yes,
us
it is.
which
Yes.
side is better than the other. So that's a straight question, straightforward question. But here they tell us, should parents take the vaccine or let their children take the vaccine, or individuals can say no? That's a discussion question, so you don't have
But,
to.
Okay, I don't
Mr. Hussein,
want to. I don't want to take more time discussing this and convincing me. So you can go on, but I will just search more because I'm not convinced. So you can go on, Haram. I don't want to waste their times.
Okay.
excuse me, Mr. Hussein, the same is here, because if someone asks you, should I wear if my friend asks me, should I wear the green dress or the red dress? I'll give her a decision. Wear this is better than that. I will not tell her, بصي والله, the red dress is lovely, but the green dress is still good. We are choosing
That's
between
what
2
we need.
options
Yes,
that are.
the second one, because we said either you take one side or you give a balanced view. We need here a balanced view. I guess that we referred to this point last week.
Maybe we will understand.
Yes, go ahead.
Maybe we will understand when we start developing the ideas how such an essay could be written. Yani, what should we exactly write in it? Maybe when this is clarified, we can get the idea more.
To do the same thing that you did last time, but you're not going to say, yes, I do believe parents should immunize their children. You're going to say that I guess that parents should immunize their children. It's really important. And at the same time, they have the right not to do so. So this is a balanced view. You didn't take any side. You said that some people have the right to do this, others have the right to do that. Did you get my point now? It's the same.
We can simply say yes, and we can simply say yes and discuss both. But the question here, if in the conclusion, for example, I state my opinion, I will lose marks in IELTS?
Yes, if you state this is not good because this is task response. You didn't respond correctly to the task. This is one of the points that we should care about.
So I don't supposed to give my opinion unless I see that discuss the advantages and disadvantages. That's it? Or tell your opinion frankly?
Yes. Frankly, tell me your opinion. To what extent do you agree or disagree to one of these 2 points?
Okay.
Yes, it's the first session in the writing 2 task that we studied. It was two sessions before. Okay, anyway, now I would like you to cover some points here. If we have this topic in the exam, what points should I cover here to cover both ideas?
The dangers of not immunizing the children.
This is one point. Great. Next.
At the same time, the benefits of the children take the vaccines.
Yes. What else? Great. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? This is one reason. We're going to take the vaccine to just try to prevent the disease. We can save lives. Diseases such as malaria or whatever are reduced when you take the vaccine. So these are the ideas that we can cover concerning the first reason. We can also say that we have one part of it is to try to avoid being hit by diseases. And we're trying to cover or to offer better hygiene and better medical programs for the people. So these are the points that we can cover concerning these ideas. Okay. And we can just cover the second point, in which they say that people people have the right not to take the vaccines if they think that they can overcome the disease themselves. Like now, not everyone is ready to take the vaccine or accept the idea to take the vaccine. Do we have any person here who refused to take the vaccine of COVID-19? Any idea?
I'm not sure I will I'm not willing to
Yes,
ask
me
for
too.
it. Yes,
Me too. But I took it because I was in Saudi and it was a must. But if I had the choice, I wouldn't accept to take it.
Yes, the same here.
Yes, some people do the same. They do not need to take vaccine. Okay. Now, I guess that we're going, in many countries, buying and selling guns for the public is legal. So, do you think here, should the ownership of guns be limited or controlled, or should everyone be allowed to trade guns easily?
Don't tell me that we have to answer both now. I can't أصلاً discuss the first choice. It's very difficult to
MashaAllah, this is Sana,
discuss
right?
that we can.
This is Sana or Dalia?
No, I am Dalia.
Dalia, yes. We're going to cover your point now that you said, oh, how do I know? I have no clue to this. We're going to discover this before the end of the session. So who can help our dear sister Dalia by trying to cover, to tell us some points to cover this idea?
We can only say that it is only benefit if I have the hobby of hunting in the mountains. That's it, only.
That's one idea that you can cover, yes.
Maybe also in case we issue laws that control the usage regardless of owning guns, this would be an option.
Okay.
Purposes.
Sorry?
Defending purposes, like to defend yourself from.
Yes, great, Mrs. Sana. Yeah.
Palestinians.
I have a gun. I'm a businessman. I need to protect my business or my house. Yes, great.
Yeah, Mr. Hussein. Yeah.
Mr. Abdullah, okay, what else can we mention here?
Yeah, I think that the government should allow the persons to have some guns, because as for myself, I live in a new district far away from the city.
Great, yes, very, very true, yes. Okay, so we can say that we may face some accidents, but it is really dangerous if children use guns. There will be more violent crimes because I have a gun. Criminals will use guns and police will need guns. And we say that Mrs. Dalia says that, no, I don't know how to do this. But if she had a gun now, she would use it. She would try it. So it makes things easier to be imagined.
Mr. Hassan, here I have a question. May I ask it?
Sure.
Yes. So how we can start the paragraph, like the introduction, it would look like what? Are we opposed or be against or pro?
Okay, guys, can you help our dear sister Sana? How can we start our question here in this type?
In the introduction, we can paraphrase the question.
We have already set the plan. You paraphrase the question, you mention one point, you mention the second point, then the conclusion. Here, the same, Mrs. Sana. You're going to mention both ideas and not standing on any.
Oh, okay.
It's the same, yes. It's the same like we did before. So the people may end their lives easily or more easily. As we mentioned at this point before, guns create violent societies because everyone has a gun. It's so easy. Guys, if you're an Egyptian, you will easily remember this. Do you remember during the revolution in 2011? Everyone has a gun. Everyone had a gun. Everyone had a tool. Everyone had a knife. Do you remember these days?
Yeah, chaos days.
Yes, that's this one. Okay, now I guess that we're ready to start our first task here. As we have just started the session, here we're covering one topic in which many old buildings protected by law are part of nation's history, a nation's history. Some people think they should be knocked down, and sides are two different. Do not take any side. Just cover the 2 points. Okay, guys, are you here?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will let you try this task, and we're going to take our normal 40 plus 10 minutes.
It's okay.
So you can write your task, then pray, Aisha, and you may have something to drink, and then we come back. It's now 8:20. We come 9:10.
9:10. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. But before we go, I mean, I want to ask you some questions. Are you going to take any of the two sides?
No.
No.
We're not going to do this.
No.
Are you going to cover one point?
Both.
No. Both of them.
Cover both.
Both of them, yeah.
How you're going to write the introduction?
Paraphrasing the question, mentioning point 1, mentioning point 2.
So we're paraphrasing the white part here. We're covering the white part here in the introduction, and remember not to stand with or to fight for one idea. You just have to cover both. In the conclusion, you're going to list first body paragraph. You say how important to maintain the old buildings. In the second body paragraph, you're going to say how history shouldn't stand in the way of progress. Your task started now. Thank you so much. I'm pausing the recording, and please remind me to continue it, inshallah. We missed yours, Mrs. Sana. If you would like to repeat it, it's fine.
Excuse me? You want me to repeat my introduction?
Yes. Yes, would like to listen to your introduction again.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I have written an introduction about this current slide. It was about history. Buildings are very important for some of people's lives. Although they carry the heritage of the ancestors or beloved ones, yet others think some of unsteady or dangerous buildings should be removed and replaced with new ones.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Abdullah?
Yeah. Yes, I say something like this. The government has released some strict laws to protect several ancient blocks, since these buildings are a significant element of the country's heritage, while some people believe that these buildings must be demolished as modern ones are built instead.
Great, mashallah. Who else? Mrs. Dalia, if you would like to participate. Mrs. Dalia, Mrs. Naima, Ms. Naima, Mr. Ahmed.
I joined late, but I wrote some points about the importance of old building.
So this is body one. This is body one. We're talking now about the introduction. So, okay, we can listen to you while we're discussing body one. So okay. Who else wrote the introduction? Any idea? Okay, it seems the people aren't here yet. So, Mrs. Shaima, would you like to say what you have written?
I'm sorry, I can participate now. Just like after 5 minutes, I can be with you. Sorry, I'm listening.
Okay. Okay, so no one else would like to participate? Okay, let's move to what we have written here as an introduction to the task. Here, MashaAllah, as our dear friends, Mrs. Sana and Mr. Abdullah said, we have shed the light on both points.
Yeah.
We said that most nations around the world have at least some or possibly many old buildings, such as temples, churches, houses in their cities, villages, and surrounding areas, which have historical significance. This is about the importance of the old buildings. In my opinion, it is very important to maintain these. So I here confirm the idea that they are really important, but this does not mean progress should stop. This is what I referred to concerning the second one.
Mhm.
So, mashallah, Mrs. Sana and Mr. Abdullah have covered the point perfectly. So the task response for them will be perfectly correct.
But Mr. Hassan, why there is, in my opinion? You said we are not supposed to state our opinion here.
But he didn't say, I do say, he covered both. He said,
He
it's
or
a-
she said clearly, in my opinion.
yes, but he didn't choose one side. He
Yeah,
said,
refer-
Yeah, not
Okay.
taking a stand, yes.
yes, here he said, it's really important to maintain these, but this does not mean progress should stop. So he said that both
Yeah.
are important.
just speaking about the first point.
Yeah, I got the point. But the word my opinion just triggered. Yes.
But he didn't take one side,
Yeah.
or he didn't support one idea. For the, as
Sorry
Mr.
for being-
Ahmed said,
sorry
Mr.
for
Ahmed, you
being
can,
late. Does
sorry?
anybody? Sorry for being late. I entered late. Just the third idea, which is the third paragraph. Does anybody read it? This is what I understood from far. So Mr. Abdullah read supported the main paragraph of the setting of the essay.
No, I have just say a comment.
So you
Of the-
supported the idea of that old buildings should be protected, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can
Yeah.
go on. Thank you. Okay.
So here in the first body paragraph, we're going to talk about how important they were. Mr. Ahmed, you said that you wrote some ideas. I would like you to tell me if some of the ideas that we wrote were like what you have just chosen. So here I would like you to look at this part. The green color refers to the idea, and the white one below here explains them. So we said that those structures, those buildings, just provide us or have an insight into the history of the countries. They showed us how those people lived. And we explained the idea more by saying that if we didn't have these structures, then we could have read about them in the books, or imagined how did they live without really seeing how they lived their lives.
I
So-
wrote something like that. I think
Great.
the main idea.
Great.
It refers to the identity of the country. It shows us how people live in the past, and we can learn from book about history. But it would be no doubt if we can see with our eyes.
This is really great. Yes.
Yes.
MashaAllah.
Mhm.
And here we continue talking about the same idea, and said that the man just mentioned two different ideas. Many of these buildings are also beautiful, and they can participate in the income of the country, because some countries just depend on these structures, like Egypt. If we don't have such structures in Aswan, Luxor, in Giza, then why do tourists come to Egypt? They won't come. So here we have two main important ideas that we support the first part. In the second body paragraph, we said, okay, I showed you how important they are, but excuse me, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't just go on with our new plans to improve our country. But he said that I believe that all buildings can be protected in tandem with progress. So at the same time, as we grow, as we improve, we can just improve these buildings as well. In many circumstances, we see old historic buildings being renovated by maintaining their original character, but we just add some modern touch to that. I guess that they did this in Jeddah, in some very old places. If you went to Jeddah, I don't know if Mrs. Sana or Mrs. Dalia, Mrs. Maram, I guess that you visited Jeddah before or something. If you went to a souk in the
old city.
Yes, they are improving this part.
Downtown.
Yes, very true. Furthermore, in one way, does history hinder progress? And in fact, it's the opposite. By studying and learning how they lived in the past, we can understand how the world we live in, and we can help in future as well. And at the end, we concluded everything by saying that it is, and at the same time, we can use this knowledge to understand how we can keep on living and improve our conditions. So as you see, we wrote 287 words, and we did not take any side of the two sides. Would you like to discuss any idea or to compare what you have written with what was written here?
This is so close to what I have written, actually.
Very, very great.
But
very
I
great.
guess my essay is a little bit shorter. Maybe if I came to, I need to practice to make sure I'm writing enough. I guess so.
Great, great. We said that in the beginning we can write in a Word file so that we know how many words in red we have written, or you can count the normal lines, because a line can have like 10 words. So if you wrote 15 lines, that's 150 words. If you wrote 30 lines, this is 300 words, and so on.
So it is allowed from us to write till what is the maximum of words that we can read?
There is no maximum, but the more you write, the more mistakes you have, and the
Yes.
less good ideas you have.
Control of ideas, yes.
Yes. We're going to discuss this now.
Mm.
So let's see, what do we have here? This is what you were really asking about. Ways to prepare for your work at home. Now, alhamdulillah, we have finished our course, and here are some tips for you to just discuss how you're going to do your job. Number one, as we mentioned before, I don't want you to start writing essays. I don't want you to do this. I would like you to break this into parts. So I would like you to practice writing introductions. Write like 20 introductions till you master this part. Then you start writing body 1, body 2, then conclusion. Or you can start introduction and conclusion because they have the same part. Okay, so this is one way of making things better, is to break the tasks into parts. You can start with the introductions. You can start with writing advantages first of any topic, then you write the disadvantages of the same topics. Okay, but do not start with writing the whole essay, because this is really exhausting. It's really confusing as well. So this is my first piece of advice to you. Number two, this is what I guess Mrs. Dalia said in the beginning. She said, oh, how do I write about guns? I have no relation to guns. I do not have enough information about this. So if you would like to do the IELTS exam and you would like to master this skill, you need to do research, do some research. So do not worry about the exact information or questions or the information that you're writing. But the more research you do, the better information you have. When you read more, you gain more, you know more, you have more information. So whatever topic that comes to you, you're going to cover some points. You're going to explain, you're going to give some examples, you're going to tell some experiences that you know about the topic. So this is really good. And I advise you, and I advised you before, that you need to read more.
Yes. Yeah.
So we sent you some reading exams, and I'm going to share some links with you for further practice, because when you read a passage in IELTS, you're going to know how to structure the sentence, how the writer developed the ideas. This will benefit you. So it's really important to do this. And here. This is what Mrs. Dalia says. So one big problem for students is that they sometimes they are not well informed about their opinions. They don't know whether to agree that people should have guns or they shouldn't agree that people carry guns. So your opinion is not really important, but how you present your opinion is what is more important. So alhamdulillah, we have worked on how to form your paragraph, and this is what we care for. While the information itself, or your opinion, or whether you stand for this side or you stood for the other one, is not really that that important, because people are not going to take your opinion and give it to the public. They just would like to see how well you organize your writing and how you're delivering your information. Guys, can I ask you how can we write faster? Can you tell me? Can you advise me how can we write faster?
You should practice.
More.
Yeah.
Write more, write faster. Yes.
Do you need handwriting or typing?
Not handwriting, not typing. I mean, I would like to finish my paragraph.
The fluent of ideas?
The
fluency of the ideas?
Yes, okay.
I think when we start with a good outline, when we start with outlining fast, arranging the ideas, then we will flow in our ideas.
That's it. We don't want you to write faster. Right? We want you to write better. If you wrote better, you write faster. That means, as you said, when we practice more and more and more and more, we can form our paragraph in a better way, and this will make it easier and faster. So
there is a tip I would like to share with my peers here. I have heard someone giving tips, like whenever you get stuck, just go back to the question and reread it. It will help you to come up with ideas, and even though you have to answer the question, and you have to answer the question of the paragraph in each. I'm lost. You have to answer the question itself in each paragraph. I'm not sure if this is right or wrong. But you have to emphasize the idea in each paragraph.
I respect this idea, Mrs. Sana. However, we have said something contradictory to this. And we're coming to this again because we have to go through it again and discuss it. So would you please just keep it aside till we finish this part? Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. So this is a story. I hope that you just go through the story quickly about someone who's trying to get band 7. And I guess this is your target as well. And he said that he spent 4 hours to write an essay. And he thought that spending 4 hours is a good idea. But we don't have 4 hours to do this. But once you write a good paragraph, you're going to do it in shorter time next time. So if you took 4 hours today, tomorrow you're not going to take 4 hours. After tomorrow, you take shorter time. After 2 days, after 2 weeks, you're going to do it in less time than the other one. As we said, and this is what I told you about Mrs. Sana, that how we're going to organize our writing. I'm so sorry to oppose the idea that the idea of the man that you listen to, but when he said that whenever you're stuck, go back to the question and reread the question, we said that we need you to just divide the timing. Yeah. We said that we have 40 minutes. We said, do you remember what did we say about this part? Hello?
Yes, yes. About
Yeah.
dividing how to divide the 40 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
breaking them
yes.
down into 5 minutes of thinking, organizing your idea, and so on.
We said yes. We said
Outline.
we should have 10
10 minutes
minutes
planning,
for
5 minutes
the planning,
introduction.
then 5 for the introduction, then 10 for body 1, 10 for body 2, and then 5 for the conclusion. This is, I guess, a good idea, because if you spend 10 minutes doing the introduction, you would have a perfect essay. And we can't, why do we say this? Because you teachers teach your students to have something called brainstorming ideas before they
Yeah.
start writing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when they start writing, they can go back to the brainstorm stage saying, okay, I forgot this, I need to do it. This will make confusion to you. This is what I guess. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but this is what I think is good for us. Okay.
Okay.
This what makes me believe my idea, because we have a thinking stage and we have a writing stage. If we do the thinking in the best way we can, then the writing stage would be the easiest we have. Do you agree or disagree with this?
Can I say that it depends on the person himself? It really, some people can be so good at just having some time to think and brainstorm, but even some people, even if they did that stage of brainstorming or whatever, after some time when they are put in that much stress, they just, they're playing, they would be blown of how much information and the stress in that. So for me personally, when I reread the question, like the ideas just click right away and I keep writing more efficiently, I think. Because to have like these so much ideas in your brain and then to write it, it would like, the details wouldn't be as much as that you have one idea and you write it and then go to the second one. That's more efficient, I think. For
I
me,
can
at least.
I know. I can't say that this is right or this is wrong, because as you said and you mentioned that we're different and we think differently. However, we give you some recommendations about how we should do it. And do not forget, Ms. Dua, that you're writing the IELTS way. So you have to write in a certain technique or a certain way. And if you're going to guarantee that what you're doing will be perfectly matching the IELTS criteria, then go ahead.
Right. Yeah.
But the idea of planning is that you're going to use your ideas in the container or in the form that is approved by the IELTS examiners. So make sure that you cover this point, okay? And good luck, of course. We do it the way you like, but we just give you some recommendations on how to make things easier.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I can tell my dear sister Dua, that everything comes gradually. So if you're going to tell yourself that you have 10 minutes to organize your ideas, and during these 2 minutes, 10 minutes, Ms. Dua, you can just read the question more and more so that you have more ideas. And Ms. Dua has one good point, guys, that she's telling you, I go back to the question, I read it, I have a new idea. So we can divide the question into parts in the brainstorming stage. And we read one part, we analyze it into like 10 parts, and every part we cover with an idea, or every 2 parts should be covered with one idea. We have advantage and disadvantage. We have, do you agree or disagree? So we can divide the question, and like every 2 minutes, we read one part, then we use good ideas for that. We write that we can mention 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3 concerning this part. So here, where the more you practice, the better you will be, and you should know how to build your opinion. You should know how to organize your ideas. You should be equipped with good vocabulary, and we're going to mention what kind of vocabulary that you should need, because people here would aspire for band 7 and above. Then if you would like to have band 7 and above, then you need to use good combination of words. So you have to use, it's not about the idea of I need to study some vocabulary words to use them in the IELTS. No, you need to use collocations. You need to use good structure. You need to put words in a certain way. So here, as he said, words and phrases that relate to the question topic. So a phrase like delay the development of child's first language. This is a real or some words together. IELTS care for this. They don't look at mere words or lone words or words that come alone, or they don't look at certain words. They need to look at some words together, how you're going to use them. But a word like moreover wouldn't be a good word. Why? Because it's a common word. Here we refer to the idea of using less common word, less common vocabulary. This is what you really need to use. We don't want to use those normal words that are used by older people. Okay, so we need to use less common words. We don't want to look for big words that are difficult to understand, but we need to words that naturally go together, like the delay of the development of child's first language. It's easy to understand and they form one idea together. So this is what we really look for. Today, I have to draw your attention to this idea. What is this idea? Can you please tell me?
The uniform of the paragraph.
Okay, what else?
Or the essay, maybe.
Yes, yes. Okay, what else?
Coherence.
The final form.
Sorry?
The final form of the essay.
Okay, so whenever you see this, you say it is
Organized.
Form.
Logical order.
Formal,
Yeah.
formal, yeah.
formal. So I would like to tell you that please, this is what I meant by using less common words. Because many people say it's harmful, but not all of them say it's injurious or destructive. So many people say, oh, this is useful, but a few of them say it's fruitful. So this is what we meant by use less common words. So the word on the left is a common word. The word to its right is less common. And we have two columns here. We have harmful, we have showing that something exists. We say demonstrative or indicative. So I would like you to use these two columns instead of the other two. So we don't say it is really needed. We say it's vital, it's crucial. Okay, so this is one part of, or this is one example of how to use good adjectives which are better than others in the IELTS evaluation. And here for prepositions. Today I'm going to talk about, no, it's better to say regarding the topic that we're covering with regard to subsequent, through, via. So these are the words that we should really use. Verbs, have a look at the verbs that you should use now. So is it better to use the word, force or impose?
Impose.
Impose.
Why?
Yeah.
More, less common.
Because it's less common. This is what we really need to use. I'll try to find you more words. These are just examples. I'll try to find more words for you to do this.
Usually I just to avoid stopping flowing of my ideas, I write, and maybe I might include many common words in my writing. But after finishing, I read it again and underline the common words and try to just to write instead of them like this.
It's really great, Mrs. Dalia, and as I said, use your own way. However, we think that this is the best way that you should use. I guess this is a recommendation, and if you're not very familiar with what I'm saying, you can try. You can try, because in your school or in your class, just tell your students to, before they write, they have to prepare some ideas.
Mhm.
And which I really depend on, because when you look at the topic as a whole, you start forming the starting point, the what should go in the middle and what should be at the end. So I guess that I recommend that this is the best way that you should do it. However, I can't impose my technique. I'm good. I use
Actually, what Ms. Dalia said is very important. We can, and it would be more effective if we do it in the preparation stage, in the first 10 minutes. We just come up with as many words as possible related to the topic, and then we pick the common ones and replace them with uncommon ones, and start using them directly in the essay. And if we do this more and more now before taking the exam, uh, uncommon words will come to our minds naturally in the exam.
This is really great, Mrs. Shaima. However, I would like to just remind you of one very important, one very crucial idea, that we're not looking for words, we're looking for ideas and how we connected them together. That's why we said spend 10 minutes trying to find good ideas and how to link them together logically and in a good way. So I guess that your ideas and how you express them is very crucial here. Okay.
I agree. Yes.
Okay, so here we would like to remind you that you need to change your structure from verb and noun into noun, or you change the words, like instead of just saying install, sometimes you say installation, sometimes you say to make an effort, or he exerted some effort, and so on. Here are some of the usual talk that we used to have in task 2. We have covered this like more than one time, and we can just remind you to brainstorm ideas before you write and decide what you think the topic, which is the task response, decide what do they need so that you can cover it or you can include it in your task, in your writing. Okay, so it's practice. We're going to say it. It's practice. You're going to practice listening, speaking, writing, and reading. And at the end, you will have above 7, inshallah. Inshallah, it's easy to get 8, inshallah. It's not, I don't think it's that difficult. Do not forget to change your structure. Do not forget to paraphrase your ideas. Do not repeat what you have previously said. But of course, some words have to be written the same as we agreed from before. This is how you can divide the timing, as we mentioned. You have 10 minutes to plan and structure your ideas for brainstorming. Then you have 5 minutes for introduction, and then 20 minutes for the 2 body paragraphs, then 5 minutes 5 minutes to write the conclusion, and you check your ideas as well. This is how you should design your paragraph. We just remind you of the 5 different types. We have to what extent do you agree or disagree, and here we have to give our opinion. We also mentioned discuss both views and give your opinion. We have to give our opinion. And here, what are the advantages and disadvantages? You don't have to say which one is better. What are the causes, and give solutions? What are the effects, reasons? You don't have to give your opinion. And today was the multiple or 2-part question that we discuss and cover the 2 points, but we do not give our opinion. Here is the task for today. here is the task for today. Screenshot, please, or take a picture. You're done?
Yes.
Okay, so by the end of this slide, alhamdulillah, we have finished the whole course. It was a long journey that lasted like 3 months, and alhamdulillah, I have enjoyed every step, and I hope that the course was beneficial to all of you. And I'm just reminding you that we don't look at separate words. We need to go okay, do not I forgot yet. The more effort you exert, the better result you will have, inshallah.
Yeah.
I know that Mrs. Sana told me that she will have to do the test soon, and I know that Ms. Dua will do the same, Mrs. Dalia will do the same, Mr. Abdurrahman and Mrs. Maram. So those are the 5 people who are going to do the IELTS exam. So I would like all of you to wish them good luck. Before we go, I need you to mention one piece of advice that you keep in your mind concerning the IELTS exam, especially the writing section.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, can you do this after the task, please?
Is this the last? Is this the last session?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mrs. Asma said that we need to use less common words. Thank you so much. Mrs. Shamat previously said, do not state your opinion unless you're asked to. We need, Mr. Abdullah is reminding you that we need to use linking words to link our ideas together. This is really great. Who can give us one piece of advice? One more? We should focus on what the examiner expects and use our time wisely. Yes, perfect.
I don't know if this was said before, but we have to avoid the common words and use the less uncommon.
Yes, great. Even if you just restate one idea, it's fine. Thank you so much. This is really important. Yes. To outline your writing, to be able to control your time correctly, this is really great. And your ideas as well. It's not only the use of time. I'm used to writing and creating new ideas. Great, great. And do not forget that when you create new ideas, you have to link them logically and use good connectors. Use good connectors. Please, guys, please, I would like to remind you that most mistakes are for the subject-verb agreement, punctuation rules, are for the using wrong tense, are for not using complex sentences. People used to use simple sentences, which is really not good. Yes, you need to vary your structure, compound, complex, and so on. These are the type of mistakes that you know. Do not forget to have an overall view concerning the graphs and task 1, academic. That's all what we have for now. Thank you so much, and it was really great to see you.
I want to thank you very much and thank all the team for every individual one and member who worked for this. I told Noor before, and I'm telling you now, that the more I participate in your team, I participated before. The more I participated, I feel that I want more. Actually, all of you as a group, all of you are doing a very good and excellent job. and you are very patient with us. You are tolerating our questions, and sorry for that. We are asking too much, but we care because we have to do our tests, and we trust your answers. That's so very, very, very thank you. This is a very aslan simple word. It can't express our feelings.
May Allah bless you, dear sister. And as a coach for teachers, I always tell my teachers while training them that trainees, students, people should ask questions. They ask because they want to know. So you should ask whatever you like, and I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to. It's not about being patient, because we're here to help each other. MashaAllah, we got most benefits from you while speaking and discussing ideas, and everyone has something special which they can deliver easily to other people, and we learn from each other. Thank you so much, Mrs. Dalia.
Yes, Mr. Hussein,
Yes.
I'd like to thank you for your course, but I'd like to ask you if you are going to do or to make any course, because we are so sad that we finished this course yet. I need course with you. Do you have or not?
Inshallah, I'm gonna send you some information, and we're not going to leave you. We're going to be connected. I do not want you to leave the group because I'm going to send. And thank you so much, because you reminded me with this, and I need to say it. One good idea is to find some samples that got band 8 or 7 or 9, and I would like you to do the task yourself. Then you compare your essay with the essay that got 7, 8, or 9. So I will send you some tasks that are band 7 or 8, and my advice to you is to just you do your writing first, then you compare it with the sample essay that you have. This will tell you what's the difference and how you can improve yourself. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.
Assalamu alaikum.